So if you're a developer and you're aiming to complete your project by the end of September, so I'm told, then there is some government funding available, and this is how it works, by the way. And today I've got something really interesting to share with you, especially if you are a property developer. And this is exciting simply because funding can be a challenge. So before I go on to this, two things that I want to share with you. We completed on our Boston project in February, and 2 months prior to that, in December, we started the funding process, and obviously COVID hit in March. We're still going through the funding process, and after COVID, the number of questions that we were asked about the project is phenomenal. I mean, every week some new question. It was like they were trying to find excuses not to give us the money. It's been incredibly hard and it's taken a long time. But I was told earlier this week they want one more piece of information and then we should be there. So I'll keep you updated on how that goes. Alongside that, we completed our St. Paul's project, which was 5 two-bedroom flats, and we've only had one offer on it so far, which was below market value in our opinion, so we refused. It was about £80,000 below market value, so we said no thank you, we'll rent them out and sell them in time to come. So why I'm sharing that with you is this. Something has come to my attention earlier this week. You might know about it, I never knew about it, which is some funding from the government. So if you're a developer and you're aiming to complete your project by the end of September, so I'm told, then there is some government funding available. And this is how it works, by the way. It's interest free for the first 12 months. So very similar to the bounce back loan, which is also interest free for the first 12 months. But the bounce back loan is limited to £50,000. This particular funding starts from £250,000 all the way up to £5 million, which is significant and will help a lot of small to medium-sized developers. So hopefully if you're watching this video, say hello, hi, and obviously ask any questions that you like. I'll try my best to answer them. Stay away from tax because I'm not covering tax today, but if somebody has an urgent question on tax, happy to answer that too. So funding from £250,000 all the way up to £5 million, which is significant. Loan to value is 65%, which isn't too bad either. I think that's pretty decent. And after the 12 months, the interest rate will be 6.6%. Again, that's not bad. I know if you go to a Lloyd's or some of the other funders, you could get a lower interest, but usually developers sometimes end up paying more than 6.6%. In fact, on our Boston deal, our rate was higher than 6.6%, especially when you add in the entry fee, the exit fee, the arrangement fee. It works out to be a lot more than that. So that works well. This next one I was quite impressed with. The government will pay for your valuation fees, your legal fees, and all your in fees. So it's not going to cost you to pay for any of those whatsoever, which is one extra reason to seriously consider this. What you do have to do is you have to self-certify that you have been affected and impacted by COVID. Now with the bounce back loans, from what I hear, a lot of people have self-certified that they have been affected by COVID, where some possibly haven't. Is the government going to check that or aren't they? I can't confirm either way, but I think if people do keep up with their repayments and pay back the bounce back loan, they're probably going to be fine. Those who don't and default, that's when the government's likely to look into it deeper and further. And I hear people saying, they're not going to do anything, they're going to let people off, this is going to be a waste of taxpayers' money. And I doubt that very much. because with the furlough scheme, we've already seen the government come down very heavy on people who've tried to abuse the scheme by having their employees work but claim furlough. And we've seen some larger firms repay some of the funding for furlough. I think going forward, the government have made it very clear through HMRC that they intend to look deeply into those employers who've furloughed their employees. So we'll see a lot of compliance checks or questions being asked. Back to this, by the way, in terms of self-certification, you've got to say you've been impacted by COVID-19. If you have, then you'll qualify for this funding. From what I've been told, you have to apply before the end of August, and I've been told that funding is limited. So if you are a property developer, you have got a deal, you're looking to complete, then this is something that you should definitely take advantage of. What are some of the different pieces of information and paperwork that you'll need? Well, first of all, you'll need your project details. You should have them anyway. If you don't, the kind of things that they're going to ask you is the number of units that you're creating, the project status in terms of where you are, how many units you're looking to sell from the entire project, and they're looking for a sales plan. Good luck with the sales plan, because obviously we don't know what's going to happen, but at least if you give them some kind of a forecast, that gives them an idea that you've at least thought about where this is going. You'll also need your financials. You need that pretty much for any form of funding. So you'll need your GDV, your build cost, and the amount that you require to complete the project, but also how much funding you'll need when you exit. So if you're looking to refinance possibly, then you'll need to make that clear in your proposal for this funding. You are supposed to exit by the end of September. Whether that's going to happen for everybody or not, I doubt it, but that's what they want you to do. You'll also need to complete an assets and liabilities form, which is again standard practice, because even if you apply for a personal loan, they do usually ask you for an assets and personal assets and liabilities form, unless you obviously do it through your phone or your online app, where usually you get about £25,000 without any questions asked. And finally, they will be asking you for your track record and a CV to demonstrate that you have done these projects before. So I thought that was quite exciting, quite interesting. For those of you who are developers, have a look at this particular opportunity. I think it's very useful. I'll be applying for it too, because one of my current projects, because I think it's quite useful and beneficial, especially with the first 12 months being interest free. You can try and refinance within those 12 months, and you're going to save the interest on those 12 months. And with the valuation fees and the legal fees being paid by the government, what's not to like? I hope you found that useful. Until next Friday, have a great weekend. And if you have any particular questions you want me to cover on Finance Friday, please post them, and I'll be more than happy to cover them in coming weeks. Take care. Bye for now.